Hey YouTube, what is going on? Joseph Fulmer here. This evening I am going to give you a 12,500, 13,000 mile review on my Darkside tire that I've got on the back of my motorcycle, this car tire. As you can see, if it's showing up on the camera, I have 99,014 miles on this bike now. And I would have to go back to the video, which I'm going to post a link to right up here, from when I put the tire on the bike originally. And it has the mileage in it. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was around 85, 86,000, something like that. So we're at 99 now. But I've had it on here for about a year and a half now. And as you can see this evening, the roads are damp. It was raining this morning, or not really raining, it has just finished raining. And I don't have any complaints about this tire so far. Like I said in my earlier review, my 2,500 mile review, when I first put it on, there was a little bit of a learning curve, kind of, I guess you could say, / break-in period, because as you rolled from left to right, you could actually feel it roll off the center of the tire. I don't notice that so much anymore. Now, if you were a rider that was used to riding on a motorcycle tire and hopped on my bike, you could probably feel it, but I've gotten so used to it I don't even notice. And running through, like, here's a quick right-left transition. There we go, and we're coming back again. I have no problem making transitions like that on this bike. I'll also post a link right now, if you look up here at the card, to the ride I did over the summer, where this is a full-length video of me riding the Tail of the Dragon, US 129 through Deals Gap, on this tire. And this was, keep in mind, I was riding a little slower because the roads were damp that morning. We'd had some rain overnight. They hadn't completely dried off yet. And I was fully loaded. So I had a cooler sitting on the back seat. I had all my clothes and camera gear and computer, everything that I would need for a 9-day motorcycle trip was on the bike. And, you know, so I wasn't, plus I also had some friends with me who were behind me riding two up. So I didn't want to push too hard going through there and, one, lose them or make them feel like they needed to push harder to keep up with me, or two, you know, with wet roads and a heavy load, and especially on roads you don't know, that could be bad. I have had this out in an actual rainstorm, you know, riding while it was raining in full rain gear, and I have never had an issue with this tire channeling water or you know, acting in a manner that you wouldn't like it to. Now, the mileage I'm getting out of this tire is, I'm going to have to replace it soon, and I'm going to insert a clip right now. And if you look at the center of the tire, it's kind of hard to tell in this clip, but the the center of the tire is getting worn down more than the outside edges, and that's because the pressure I'm running, which is 37 psi for the weight of the bike, is too high. I'm not going to change it now, because if I did, that will create an adverse handling problem with the visible wear difference. So I'm going to wait until I put a new tire on. When I do, I'm going to go with the same tire, but I'm going to drop the pressure down to about 34 psi. At 34 psi, that's hopefully going to get it riding a little flatter going down the road. You know, where I'm when I'm going in a straight line, I'm more evenly on the contact patch, you know, the flat part of the tire, and I'm not just chewing on the center of it. But even if I only get 15,000 miles out of this tire before I pull it off the bike, you know, on the same hand, I have less than $100 in the tire. So you can kind of do the math there, and even if you figure a new rear motorcycle tire is going to cost you $200, I'm still going to get 30,000 miles out of the tires before I spend $200. So that is, you know, that's going to be a big bonus for riding on a car tire like this. Now, would I recommend this on every bike? No. You have to keep in mind the rim on the rear of this motorcycle is I believe it's a 5 or a 5.5 inch wide wheel, and because of that, that actually puts me right in the acceptable range for wheel width on this tire. Every tire manufacturer will specify a wheel width range. Now 5.5 inches is the low end for this tire, but it is acceptable, which means that the beads will seat properly with the wheel. If you go with a narrower tire, you're going to have an issue with the bead of the tire. Instead of being straight up and down, you know, even with the edge of the wheel and that bead lip on the wheel and the bead mating together nicely, the tire is going to want to roll in because it's going to be so bulged. So would I recommend running a tire like this on maybe an adventure touring bike or something of that nature with a narrower wheel? Not really, because I don't think it's going to seat up properly. People have done it, and you know, if you're doing something like this, it's all at your own risk anyway. Tire manufacturers aren't going to stand behind it. Motorcycle shops probably will not mount one for you or balance it, so don't expect that either. You're going to have to do that on your own, which if you check out the card right up here to my Harbor Freight wheel balancing stand, you can go buy that and balance your own tires, save yourself some money, and it's really not that hard. And I know my shifts are a little off. I'm trying to talk to you guys and ride, so you know. But that all being said, and you can see we're running 60 mile an hour now, and you know, this is not, the bike is tracking just fine through these corners. You know, I'm not running into any issue. I've got a weird glare in my God bless. All right, we're gonna have to stop up here. I've got some crap on my visor, and I don't know where it came from, and it's about to drive me insane because I can't see through it worth a damn. Well, we're not stopping here. Alright guys, so would I recommend this tire? Would I recommend doing this? You know, I think I've kind of covered that with the wheel width thing to an extent, but here's the deal. Do I recommend this? I would not recommend this on a smaller, lighter bike. You know, that's where you're at your own risk. Do it at your own risk, because here's the issue. On a smaller, lighter motorcycle, you may not have enough weight to get a good grip with a car tire, because the tread compound is going to be a little bit harder. Now, this bike weighs a little over 800 pounds before you put me on it. We're now over 1,000. I put any gear in here, well, we're getting heavy fast. So, you know, that's going to change the dynamic, because at 1,000 pounds, you roughly split that in half and figure you've got half of that weight sitting on your front. Excuse me. You've got half of that weight sitting on your front. You have half of that weight sitting on the rear tire. That's about 500 pounds. A 2,000 pound automobile is going to put roughly the same weight on the tire. So that's going to put you, you know, in a range where that tire is designed to function properly. If you're going with a smaller, lighter motorcycle, of course you're going to be going with a smaller, lighter tire, and that's going to change the dynamic a little bit. So, like I said, guys, do that at your own risk. I mean, that's what all of this is, and you are taking a risk because you're putting an automobile tire on a motorcycle. I got to clean my visor. I can't see a darn thing. Okay, let's try that again. Sorry about that. I guess for me talking, the inside of my visor was building up so much condensation, and I couldn't get my vents to move enough air through with the windshield so that I could actually see. You know, it was getting really bad. Anyway, back to the tire. Would I recommend this? Well, you know, you're going to have to make that decision on your own. Do it at your own risk. I'm having success with it, and I know there are a lot of other people out there that have. There's also a lot of other people out there that say, don't do it. Whatever you do, do not do it. So, you need to make that decision for yourself. I'm not going to make it for you. The best thing that I can tell you is, if you're thinking about it, pick out your tire, do your research. There is a Darkside tire forum. Look them up. They actually give specific sizes and tire types and how people like them for specific motorcycles. So look them up, do your research, because let's face it, worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to buy a tire, you're going to put it on the bike, you're not going to like it, and you're going to pull it off and put a motorcycle tire on. You know, hopefully that's the worst thing that's going to happen. The other option is you push it too hard and you're going to end up piling it up. So, you know, keep that in mind. Now, I have leaned this bike over on dry roads far enough that I'm scraping my highway pegs, which you can see down there. I know that was pretty quick. Give me a minute. Let me get through this corner. I mean, you can see where my feet are down here, and this tire adds enough height to the rear of the bike. You got to lean her over pretty far. I have maybe that much of a chicken strip left on my front tires, and to be absolutely honest with you, you can push this thing pretty hard, you know, through some pretty hard corners on this tire without any trouble, but it is a heavy bike. Now, one other thing that I was thinking on this Valkyrie, this is a shaft drive motorcycle, and part of the reason I went to this tire is it is actually about 3 to 4 inches taller than the stock one, and I cover that in some of my other reviews. And the nice thing about that is it drops my highway cruising RPM by about 500, and by doing so I have extended my fuel range by 30 plus miles a tank. Now, I used to, on average, running down the highway, get about 130 to somewhere between 130 and 140, and I would hit reserve if I made it that far. You know, if I was pushing at 75 to 80, 120 was common. I would be I'd have to switch to reserve and stop and get fuel. With this car tire on the back of the bike, it is normal, absolutely normal. I can push this bike hard on a regular basis and hit 140 plus miles before I have to hit reserve. Highway cruising on a trip between, you know, holding between 75 and 80, say, I can run 155 to 160 miles before I have to switch to reserve. And if I drop my speeds back where I'm back, you know, cruising, say, state highways where I'm running 60, 65, 70 miles an hour, I can actually push my fuel range. I've pushed my fuel range over 200 miles between my, you know, combined normal tank and my reserve tank. And that is exceptional for this motorcycle. I can't complain about that at all. So, and that's, you know, getting out and riding and having fun. That's what it's all about. So, guys, I hope this review helps you out. If there's anything that I forgot to cover, please drop your questions down in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this with your friends. Share this with fellow motorcyclists, especially if they're thinking about going to the dark side. And that way, if they have any questions, by all means, I will either try and answer them, one, or two, I'll make another video on it. I don't care. So, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Get out there, ride, have fun, keep the shiny side up, and we will see you all on the next one.